I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. Perfect timing. Here we go. We're going to get about 2 hours of in. Let's get started, everybody. So, to recap what happened last time, if you did not see the first stream or you wanted just a quick refresher, the entire first hour of the June the King documentary about the quartering is before he was the quartering. It's all his backstory of him going to school and him starting these businesses, selling some of them off, using that to go into a different business. I mean, this guy has done a ton of different things over the course of his early days as a YouTuber, including computer tech work, a channel about social networking for gamers, RC cars, Magic the Gathering, unpackings and coverage, and more. But what happened was, at the end of all of this, which was around 2016, so about 10 years ago, what Jeremy realized is that the way that he was getting the most engagement and interaction and attention on himself on the internet was by being an asshole. I mean, there's really no other way to state it. He's acting like an asshole to people. He's causing drama and problems, getting into arguments, and all of a sudden, the attention of the internet is on him. And he's like, oh, so doing this kind of like attention farming is getting people to watch. So why don't I continue with this kind of attention, right? And he did. Like, if you could see, he actually went from being a guy that was focused mostly on Magic the Gathering to instead doing content that was more like culture wars and stuff like that. And that's actually where we're beginning tonight. This is exactly where we had frozen this last week, was on this still frame. Okay? So
Wise private information. On May 21st, 2018, Jeremy and Coach Red Pill confronted each other on a live stream.
I'll go.
so now we're already all the way up to 2018. So it did do like a time skip there. Oh, I assume a couple of years where he was focusing on being the quartering at this point. Okay.
Education.
How many children do you have?
By the way, just interesting, we got Mundane Matt down there. We've got the Ralph retort, that's Ethan Ralph, right? So this is just a space of YouTube. I've been aware that it exists. I have absolutely no involvement with it. I don't want to be in this internet blood sport drama stuff that these guys find themselves embroiled in on a daily basis. To me, it seems like you do this when you don't really have positive content to put out there that will get any kind of attention. So you just constantly quarrel with others, you bicker with others, you slam on others, you get into these culture war arguments, and if someone doesn't agree with you, all of a sudden you call them like a, your enemy and stuff like that. It seems like it's been around for a long time. I've been out of it. I just cover games. You know what I mean? Yeah, every once in a while I dabble in a React. I'll do a review or something. It wasn't until, recently, in the last few years, that I started doing more podcasting and this kind of stuff, and then started crossing over into this kind of content with other people. I have no desire to be in this realm full-time whatsoever, okay, at all. But it seems like this has been around now for a while, and holy crap, it must work. There's entire people who their entire internet presence is this. If there's a day without drama, they have nothing to do, So here you go.
I'll go wife to wife.
Views a month to 7 million by August. Then,
Whoa. He went from 1.5 million to 7 million views in 4 months. Oh, wow. And then again to 11 million in November. So this guy, exponential growth the moment that he started getting into the culture wars against SJWs. That's wild growth. I mean, that's insane. Even me, when I was popular, I had growth. I never had that level of exponential growth. That's wild.
to over 10 million views a month, nearing the end of 2018. During this time, Jeremy started the podcast channel The Incredible Salt Mine with 2 other creators. Stories told in these episodes would haunt him far into the future. This specific story only made possible due to a chat member donating $500.
Somebody just fucking donated $500. I have to tell the story about how I shit my pants now.
Oh, you dude.
We're at Walmart. We had just eaten, my wife and I. We had just eaten.
I guess he was under the impression if he said it's going to take a $500 contribution, no one would do $500, then someone did. All right, hold on. Let's think about this. If someone does a $500 contribution right now, what story could I tell you? What story have I never told you that I could tell you that you'd actually like? Let me think about this. Because I've shared so much in the past about my past. Let me see here. By the way, thank you so much. Wait a minute. Hold on. Did they say this was the story of him shitting his pants at a Walmart? Is that what he said? I think that's what I caught earlier, right? This is a Walmart story. Am I correct? Because if this is him at a Walmart, if he's a millionaire, why does he shop at Walmart? If you're a millionaire, you go to the nice local grocery store that has the higher grade fruits and vegetables and the locally cut meats and everything that's fresher and better. You don't shop at Walmart. You shop at Walmart if you're broke. I'm very confused right now.
Like, the clothing
Why isn't he at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's? Why is he at Walmart?
and, like, the automobile.
I want to address something. Jersey Kid in chat says $1 million is not special anymore. Certainly not enough to stop working or shopping at Walmart. Working, I will agree with you. Shopping at Walmart is complete nonsense. I have not shopped at Walmart once in my life, except for one time in the early 2010s. Walmart had these Street Fighter joysticks on sale. They were the only place that had them, and I ordered them and picked them up there and just went home and, modded them. That's what I was doing. I've never once, as a normal customer, walked through the front door of Walmart and shopped the store in my entire life, nor will I. Like, I have absolutely no desire to do that. I know what kind of a company they are. I don't stand for them. I know what goes down at Walmart. Like, I would never shop there ever. I have so many other alternative choices of places that I can go. And by the way, yeah, they're all a little bit more expensive, but they're not bank breaking. To me, someone who absolutely forces themselves to go to Walmart is you're just trying to stretch your money to the maximum. There is an entire group of people in this country that have to shop at Walmart because they can't afford to shop anywhere else. I'm not faulting those people. I'm saying if you're a millionaire, you don't shop at Walmart. There's a million other alternative places you could be shopping that are better places to shop quality-wise and just a million reasons why, okay? I would never be at Walmart with my family, period. But that's me. Other people can disagree. That's fine. I would not be at Walmart. So, okay.
Own controversial comments. In his career, he's made 270 videos on the topic of or mentioning Brie Larson.
All right, I'm going to say this. That does sound kind of excessive and maybe obsessive. However, if I weren't me, I would be like, that's crazy. But I have people who literally make multiple videos about me a day. So in 1 year, they've already probably made somewhere between 600 to 1,000 videos about me in 1 year. And it's more than one person that does that. And I'm nobody. You have to understand that. Like, I'm a small-time creator, right? Little guy. Right now, I have 177 viewers on YouTube. And maybe how many do I have on Kick right now? 94? Or is that not correct? 94. So I've got like 260, 270 viewers. That's my average stream. And I got these nut jobs who obsess about me. He's doing this to someone who's a real actress and a real celebrity. Therefore, he's probably getting exponentially even more interest and views on this content than anything that, that would be even done about me. In fact, just taking a look at this page here, he's got a video, 22nd of April, 2019, 6.9 million views. The Avengers cast savagely roasts Brie Larson about her lies about doing, so who even cares? He made 7 million views on a video about her. So of course he's going to keep making the videos, right? This guy's probably made hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million, off of talking about this woman.
He made so much money covering her that he dedicated a new shit to her.
There you
Every
go.
night before I go to bed, too. Just a little ritual. Appreciate you.
But you're a millionaire. I'm very confused. Like right now, if I were a millionaire and I actually was rolling in money, okay, I'm good. for life because I'm making so much money on YouTube, and I actually felt like someone really wronged me or my family, I would just sue them. I wouldn't wait for the GoFundMe funds to come in to do it. I would just sue them. Just saying. I just go for it. But at the same time, this is exactly the pattern that we have seen with him, right? First, he gets in trouble with the Magic the Gathering. They're not going to fly me to events anymore. Well, fund me on Patreon so I can still afford to go. Oh, look, I'm banned from Magic the Gathering now. I can't participate in events. I can't do anything. Well, pledge to my Patreon to support me anyway. Well, this guy attacked me. Pledge to my GoFundMe.
The fundraiser undershot its goal of $40,000 by $6,000. Still, Jeremy
Tons of money. He's getting great views doing the culture war stuff. He closes down that Magic the Gathering because he doesn't even want to waste time on that anymore. He's trying to do new endeavors like this non-political gaming website, and he wants to keep doing his quartering culture war stuff, right? But where he's faltering is he's falling into these drama traps, these little things of engagement and crap. You know what I mean? He probably would have been better off if he never responded to the whole situation, ignored the whole thing, rather than even addressing it. Because when he addressed it, he gave it merit because he felt like it was valid enough to warrant a response. If you just ignore it, it's going to go away. People are going to get bored of this nonsense and move on to something else. But he keeps engaging with it. And every time he engages with the topic, it gets blown up further. You see? So that's how I think his mistakes were with all this social media stuff. Maybe he's the kind of guy, he should have just stuck right to the videos and not do the social media stuff, which pretty much is what I do now. Like, I don't engage with social media almost ever. I just post my schedule up there. Anything you want to know about me, you want to talk about me, come to my stream. You want to hear what my thoughts are, watch the video. I'm not giving you free shit on social media that then you can spin out of proportion and say I said something I didn't say. Come to my channel. That's how I handle it. But I'm a small-time guy. Maybe he felt like all this engagement farming on social media was beneficial to him. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it was, does it?
to be a complete fucking idiot or liar to see how
Continued to exist here on YouTube.
What I will say here is, all right, because everyone when they do reacts like this, everyone looks at them too. I'm not immune to this. I'm not above this. I've done it. There's been times when I was doing really well for myself and I saw a decline in YouTube. And I would say to the viewers, I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's that you guys aren't getting notifications. I don't know if you guys are not interested in this particular game or whatever. Like, this totally happened to me. I would say this actually happened to me around 2012, 2013. Now, keep in mind, I had only done YouTube full time since like 2011. You know, it was always a hobby until like late 2010, early 2011. And then all of a sudden I noticed between like 2012, 2013, I would do certain game playthroughs and they would just not get any views compared to like, it used to be a point where anything I did would get views. It didn't matter what game I played. I could be scratching my ass on camera. I'd get like 20,000 views scratching my ass. Okay. Then all of a sudden that kind of went away, and it could simply be stagnation. It could be you're doing the same kind of thing for so long and you're not doing anything fresh or different. People tend to get tired. They move on. If he's been doing this culture war stuff for 2, 3, 4 years straight, people are getting tired of the same shtick. They want something new and fresh, and they tend to move on. It's stagnant now. And what I would do the same thing. I would go to my audience and I would say, man, I'm disappointed because I thought that I was going to continue on this trend of growth, and now it's kind of plateauing. And what does that mean? Because I had aspirations to move, and I had aspirations to do this and do that. And if it means that my income is plateauing now and my views are plateauing, maybe that means that I can't do any of that stuff that I wanted to do. And, you know, I don't know if it's really fair to share that with your audience. Okay? I'm telling you that now, 14 years later after the fact. But I don't know if it's fair to share that and to put that on your audience, because that's a thing for you, like, you to figure out, right? Like, really, in reality, why am I plateauing? Why am I not growing anymore? Why did I go down in views this month? Okay? You should try to figure that out before you put it on your viewing audience and be like, well, it must totally be because YouTube is secretly hiding my channel, or, you know what I mean? I don't think that's the case. In this case, from what I'm seeing, from what he's showing, there is no distinct pattern there. It's just he's putting out the same 2, 3 videos a day. They're getting stagnant. People get bored of it. You know what I mean? And we make completely different kinds of content. With my content, if I play a super popular game, like I just played Resident Evil 9 Requiem a few months ago, Sky high views on the playthrough. Why? Because it's a hot game, big game from Capcom. Everyone wants to see me play the hot new game. Then I try to play another new game, and it's a smaller game, and it barely gets any attention whatsoever. Well, you know, them's the breaks. Sometimes you got to ride with the industry. Maybe the topics he was covering weren't that interesting at the time. And that's why his views were stagnant or declining, right? The weird thing is, like he's saying, his one video did get views. So if you got one video that's getting the better views, maybe focus more on that content that's bringing you the views. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. I'm trying to apply my experience to what he went through. Because I've been there, like, hey, everything was working. This pattern, this work ethic, this schedule, this was working. Everyone liked it. Now all of a sudden it's not working anymore. Well, that does happen on YouTube. I don't necessarily think it's YouTube is hiding anything. Now, by the way, there have been distinct times over the years that YouTube has changed the algorithm. And when they do, they usually don't tell anyone. So overnight, you might have a video that used to be hot and now no one can find it. I've had videos that for years were insanely popular and would bring me in 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views a month, even though they were from years ago. And then all of a sudden overnight, someone finger snapped and those videos now get 0 views. No one can find them in the algorithm. That does happen. But his new content getting a declining active viewer base, it may be that, quite frankly, people are just tired of the same shtick. They want something new. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But I do feel like to do this and come out publicly and talk about it like this, is it the end of the world that he was getting 14 million views and now he's only getting 12? No, he's still doing well for himself. So why are you really like talking about it and complaining about it? I don't get it.
You to push back.
Oh no.
I've literally never lost that round. I've never lost that round.
Why does he sounds like me? That's totally something I would say. Either I didn't lose, or I've never lost that before.
Lost that round. Oh my god. I just peed in my basement. No, not in the kitty litter. Just in the drain. In the drain.
Though Jeremy deleted the livestream, Channel Virus Sanity uploaded a 5-minute supercut of the event.
Why? I mean, why would you delete the live stream? There's no point. Everyone knows that anything now that's live streamed is immediately stolen and put everywhere on the internet. If you ever have an embarrassing moment, it cannot be deleted. It is there forever. There was no point to deleting it. It's not going to help.
Commented on this video with, "Imagine thinking this is Anon." In the hundreds of comments responding to the quartering, there is only a single comment of support. Between the basement urination and the Twitter debacle, there could be an explanation for why the quartering was acting out in August. It could be that once more.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. Who the fuck? 2 hour? I mean, 2 hours.
It was in this stream that
There's insane amounts of content made about me. I watch none of it. Okay? Being honest with all of you, I watch none of it. I don't. I wouldn't even have time to watch it all. There's so much of it. Okay? But I also don't react to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that someone did oh, Phil, did you hear another documentary got made about you today? I don't care. Phil, did you hear there's a Christmas special about you? I don't care. Who cares? Right? Just another thing, another stupid thing. So I just ignore it. If I'm going to react about it, like, I'll watch it to know what was in it before I react, and then I don't even know what I'm talking about. You know, like, just ignore it. If really you feel like you're above it, it's not a big deal. It's just nonsense. It's someone being disingenuous. Just ignore it. Because the truth is, here's the truth. The people who are watching that content aren't your viewer base, right? H3H3 and his viewer base are not the quartering's viewer base, right? They're not. So in general, people who are making defamatory videos about me, that's also not my viewer base. So who cares? Let them make content for these people. They'll believe whatever they want. You're not going to convince them otherwise. So let them have their nonsensical bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then ignore it and do your own thing. And that's what I've learned. And listen, it was hard for me to learn that. It was a long time of me making content and trying to find a way to do it right and not get triggered by that crap. And now I just pay no attention to it anymore. But if you're going to react like he did, make a whole video about it, you at least need to know what you're talking about. You know, watch it or don't. If you don't watch it, then don't react. Just ignore it. That's my advice. And that's what I do now. But this was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, actually.
Despite that, despite
Gross. Why don't you just come inside? I was like, what do you mean? What's so? I'm right next to the dog who's pissing in the lawn. What's the difference? Sometimes I'll take my dog out. He's stuck.
How many story? Wait a minute. There's another story of this. Oh my God. A history of drinking and peeing. Wow. There's a lot of crap on the internet about me. You know, it's the thing is, that's what you see me reacting this way. I'm sure there's people who have heard stuff about Darkside Phil over the years and they react exactly the same way. So, you know, it's none of this is like horrible cancelable stuff. This is the kind of shit that people do laugh at you on the internet for and they'll meme at you for, and it's harmless. Like, he's actively telling the stories. It's not like these were leaked stories behind the scenes that he tried to hide for years. He's actively telling the stories, right? So you would think, this is okay, make fun of him for this. It's fine. He's telling it, you know?
Gotta be on a leash. And, like, I gotta piss too. So I'm like, I'm just, you know, that this channel has talked about it several times. My channel.
This is, hold on. I got to do something. Ready? Give me 1 second. I want you to look underneath me. I'm going to turn my camera off for a second. Take a look under me, okay? Minds, Twitch, Parler, Rumble, BitChute, and he's also on YouTube. Are there any ways that he doesn't accept contributions? Like, I mean, surely he has a PayPal as well, right? Surely, and a Venmo? Of course, he must. He has to. We already know he has a Kickstarters. He has GoFundMes. We know that he has a Patreon. Maybe he got rid of his Patreon because it's not on there. But we know he had a Patreon at one point. Okay? What else? Does he accept mailed money? If so, does he have like a P.O. box you can mail him envelopes of cash? Does he accept Bitcoin? Does he... What else? Cash App. That's right, Cash App. We can't forget Cash App. There's got to be more. Can you have a carrier pigeon fly funds to this man? Because I may be interested in doing it that way. That might be the way that I've decided. I understand about diversification. I get it. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, especially when you get attacked on the internet for things you say and do. For example, you don't want the one way where you get most of your income to be shut down, and now you have no other way to make money. I get that. But I do think it's a little excessive. Minds, Twitch, Parler, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Patreon, GoFundMe. I'm seeing a pattern that perhaps there's a focus here. and of course, you don't understand, I also accept contributions. So it is hypocritical for me to be saying this right now. But I would like to point out, I do have a leaderboard, but my entire screen is just the leaderboard and me. Okay? You don't see half my screen is not one of these giant overlays. Pay here. Pay. If you want to do that, please do. I'm not going to complain, but I'm just calling it out. I've also seen this with other podcasters, right? I called this, who was it, Painkiller already many years ago? Their entire it's like 3 tiny little webcams, and their entire screen is like Dollar Shave Club, water pick toothbrush, men's butt wipes on the screen. It's like, dude, is this a podcast or am I on a fucking website for, you know, to buy products and see shilling? Like, what is going on? At some point, I would like to have content be the focus of content. Does that make sense? That, like, you're doing content because you feel like you want to put out a product that someone will enjoy today, and then maybe if they liked the product, then they'll contribute. Not the product is the contributions. Does that make sense? It drives me bonkers, and these people are way more successful than me, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe my methodology has been wrong all along, and all I should have been doing is thinking about how do I get money today before I even think about about how do I get money today before I even think about what content I'll put out to do it. Maybe that's what I should have been doing endlessly from day one, because everyone there is doing better than me. The guys from Painkiller already do better than me. Jeremy does better than me. So maybe I'm the fool here. Or maybe not. Let's continue.
Being affected.
If you decided to go that route. This is a screenshot of Jeremy's Subscribe Star from February 24th, 2021. There are 3 goals on the right-hand side.
I'm so exhausted looking at these kinds of screens. Like, okay, I admit, again, I had a Patreon. All right? I did. For a long time, I had a Patreon that was a big focus. I stopped it being a focus. It's like a legacy thing now. I have like 20 people a month who give anything to my Patreon at this point, and it's like a few bucks each. But just because they're people who've loved me for so long, they contribute. I don't, I do nothing on Patreon anymore, okay? When you contribute to me, I directly shout you out on my streams. I tell you, hey, let's buy games, let's do things. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine my entirety of my existence on the internet is having these kind of goals, and if we hit this amount of funding, we're going to do this, and when we hit this amount of funding, we're going to do this, and then we're going to start this website, we're going to do this project, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. What? It's too exhausting. It's too much. You're asking and asking and asking and asking and asking. And it's always something else. Does it ever end? What are you talking about? How dare you say to look in the mirror? What mirror? I don't have one. Hold on. My phone is kind of reflective. Hold on. Scared me. How dare you make me look at myself? Again, I get it. Again, there's parallels, right? But it would be hard to make a documentary about me like this. There was one. There was a 4-hour documentary. Was it like this one? Was it literally, and then Phil asked again, and then Phil asked again, and there was another project, and there was another thing, and there was another thing, and there was another thing. No, it was like Phil was an asshole in the Street Fighter community, and Phil had his accident, and, it was dumb shit. It wasn't anything like this. Is just like endless fundraising. And it's just, I'll be honest with you. There's some things that I'm laughing at and I'm enjoying. And I am liking that I'm understanding the history of this man to know what's going on right now. But I'm actually starting to get exhausted. Is the rest of the documentary like this? It's just, so here was the next thing he did to raise money. Here was the next thing he did to raise money. And then there was money, and there was money, and money. I'm tired of it. I'm hoping something else happens, because it's either money or complaining about money at this point. Okay, let's continue.
Part of his staff.
Do 5 videos a day, 5 days a week. And that kind of started me thinking about, like, okay, like maybe you don't have to work so much. So in terms of like mental health,
I mean, you don't have to work so much, but then you can't have a jet. You understand? Like, I work full time, 5 to 6 days a week right now. There was a time when I actually had to work 6.5 days a week just to keep things going. I had no time off. And that was many years where I had to work that hard just to keep stuff going. Now I'm doing good enough that I can work probably, 5 to 6 days a week. Sometimes I can have an extra day off a week to spend time with my wife, which is very nice. And again, thank you all. I appreciate you all for allowing me to have that. Okay. But he's complaining about how much he's working, but also he has a jet. Like, well, then stop spending so much. Stop living this lifestyle of this insane amount of money that you need to keep going. Because it sounds like he just got stuck into this cycle of always, what's the next grift? What's the next project? What's the next thing to put money into? And yes, this has allowed him this life of affluence behind the scenes. But at the very same time, it's completely grinded the man down to dust. And now he's falling apart at the seams. He's always drinking too much, or he's overly tired. It could be a combination of the two. And that's driving him into problems on Twitter and social media. That's now affecting his work. And so when he even sees a tiny decline in views, he flips out at it because, man, that means now I might have to work even harder or whatever. I think he built himself a prison. Like, he actually walled himself in with bricks. You know what I'm saying? And all he had to do was say, I have to just basically accept the fact that I don't need to do as much work, but I also don't need to have as much. Does that make sense? Like, he downscales. I don't need to have 3 businesses that I'm running at a time that each have employees. I could just have 1. I don't need 3. That's okay. Close this one, close that one. Just have the 1. Just have the few employees. Just focus on that. Make that the best it can be. It's pretty crazy. Because he's killing himself. Like, who is killing him? He says it's the algorithm, and he says it's these people attacking him. But the people attacking him are actually what's driving his growth, because that's what gets people to rally around him and behind him. He says it's the YouTube algorithm, but every time the algorithm affects him, he asks for more money, and he gets it. So the only thing that's really killing him is him. He's killing himself with the way that he's overworking himself, and he's constantly looking for the next grift.
I feel incapable of taking a day off.
This was a video of lucidity.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Boom. He's done it. He's hit it on the head, and it's exactly what I just said. Dead on. He built himself his own prison, and now what do you do to get out of it? I mean, at this point, when he has this moment of lucidity, he should say, this is where we need to change. Enough with the constant projects, grifting, businesses opening. Instead of that, let's have a moment of clarity. Let's see what's really going on. Here's my real question for him. At this point in his life, this is what, 2022? Does he actually like what he does for a living? Any of his projects? Does he like his videos on the quartering? Does he like trying to do these side projects? Or is this just, he's been this endless grinder, but doesn't like anything he's doing at all? Because this is, I will say this, tons of the criticism that I can apply to Jeremy can definitely be applied to me, which is why, remember the first video that I put out from last week, I called it a grifter comments on a grifter, right? Because I've been there. I've been in that position that he was in, and I know what it's like, okay? But the difference here at the end of the day, well, I'll say there's 2 key differences from what I can observe between him and me. And difference number 1 is that I actually like my job. Like, every day that I'm sitting here and I'm chilling with all of you and we're having a good time and we're doing any kind of content, whether it's chilling and podcasting or having a conversation or playing a game, whether it's a chill, relaxing game like we did earlier today with Pokemon, that was super fun. Or we play a more challenging game like Soros, where it's kicking my butt. Or, competitive Street Fighter Online, I'm raging. Or something more relaxing. No matter what it is we're doing, I genuinely like doing it. I want you to understand that. That's why I do it. I never would put as much time and effort into what I do if I didn't like it. That's the kind of guy I am. I would never go crazy, balls to the wall for something I don't have passion for. Okay? That's difference number 1, because for what I'm seeing, the fact that this guy has gone in so many different directions, and the only one that's really stuck was the quartering, but now he says, I got to put out 5 videos a day. The algorithm is killing me. This is killing me. I don't think he enjoys the videos. In fact, I would almost go as far to say maybe the videos are just disingenuous because he knows it's just content to print money for him. Maybe he actually never gave 2 flying shits about Brie Larson. But all he knew is that if he made another video about Brie Larson today, it would get the 100,000 views he's looking for, and it would pay the bills. Okay? But for me, it's like, no, I like what I do. I genuinely enjoy being here every day with all of you. I want you to understand that. That's number 1. And number 2, the other thing that he's saying, so a day when he comes to his job and he makes his 5 videos and they get good views and they hit the algorithm, he gets a dopamine hit. On a day when he comes to the job and he makes the 5 videos and they don't hit the algorithm, he doesn't have the dopamine hit. Okay, but that's your work life. What's going on behind the scenes of your work life? What I'm hearing is that this man has absolutely no work-life balance whatsoever. He is a 100% grind away, pump out the content, and that dictates his life. He didn't actually draw the line and say, all right, success to some extent, but there has to be a limit to my success. where I'm going to say outside of this amount that I'm going to work, there's going to be this amount that I'm going to spend with my wife and or friends or family. And this is going to be my private life. And this is something I can 100% attest to because I've been there and I was very, very guilty of this. I didn't have a work-life balance and I was miserable. Miserable. Because it was about work, 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 video, 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 game, 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 stream, stream, stream. Now, I've drawn that line. I have time with my wife every single day. We have at least one full day off, if not more. I like to have more. And there are weeks when I have 2 days off and I have a whole day with her. I don't do any work at all. And then there's some days I still got to do some errands, but I still get to spend time with her. And every normal day, I'm still spending time with her outside of the work. And I said that has to happen. That's something that it's non-negotiable because my life cannot be dictated by the online presence that I have. You understand? And the funny part is there's people right now on the kick side of things watching this right now, and they're saying things, where's your wife, Phil? She's right now. She's either across the hallway relaxing or she's downstairs relaxing, waiting for me to finish so we can go spend some time together tonight before I go to sleep. And that's my life every day. She's there in the morning when I wake up, except the days when she's at work. But she's there in the morning and we spend time together then. She makes the meals and we spend time there. We have a lot of good time together. We love it. That's really what I look forward to. On my days off, I love spending time with her and doing stuff, right? Really. And now that I'm in a better financial position, we're looking to do other things with our time that we want to do. We're improving the house together. We're making these kind of important decisions. We want to go places and do things together because we can do it now. We literally couldn't have done it until the last positive changes we've seen in the last 2 years. Understand that. Like we wanted to, we couldn't. Now we actually can. Okay? And that's called work-life balance. Like, yes, I'm here a lot, but I also have a life outside of here that you don't need to know about at all. And it's a good one. It's a good life. And I love that life. And I can't wait for more of that life moving forward. I can't. Watching this video, it seems to me like at least 2022, which is where we are in the timeline, this man has completely lost the script. You're supposed to grind so that you have an end goal to grind for. Like you grind so you can be affluent enough that now you can basically sell off all of these businesses and you don't have to work anymore, right? Because the truth is, if you don't like what you do, that's what you want to do. Sell off the businesses, you have enough money, live, nicely for the rest of your life, you're done. Or if you're like me and you're not going to blow up, because I know I'm not going to blow up, at least find something you can do that you like. Because if you're going to have to do this for a long time, you better damn well be sure you like what you're doing. And I see neither of those. There's no exit strategy here for this man. And he doesn't like what he's doing. It's a double whammy. So I can grind until one day I decide I'm done grinding, I retire. And I can step away from it and I'll be the master of my destiny. But this guy has gotten to the point where he doesn't like what he's doing and it's torturing him that he has to keep doing this content. It's killing him when he sees a downturn, right? That's awful. Awful. Now we're up to what, 2022? Let's see if we can find a logical stopping point here.
In his history.